As we move ahead, we now bring in a perspective, looks at what lies ahead. It's an honor to have with us Ms. Gauri Das as a Summit Perspective voice, bringing forward-looking lens to this conversation. Let's take a quick look at Gauri Das's journey.
So first, let's start with a question. What is the talent scarcity challenge actually, and what is the reason? Is the reason expectation of manager, or is it lack of talent, or is it our unwillingness to take a risk or hire something different? According to you, what is it? 1, 2, 3. Manager, very easy. The second one, there's no talent in the market, and the third one is we are not willing to take some risk with hiring. So what is it? Third one. Okay. So I have a very good audience with me who is already aligned. I don't have to have a different perspective. So that's why the title is Talent Scarcity is a Myth. It's not that I have a pool of 100% candidates available always, but I have done few things, I have learned few things because of which things have gone better, and that's what I'm going to discuss. We are designing the shortage is what I am believing, and that's what panel and Harjeet also discussed about. So this is the data regarding how much talent we have in the market. This is year on year, huge number, and we are still struggling with hiring even a one person. When it comes to certain roles, it becomes very, very difficult. So can we say there is talent scarcity? No, actually not. It's just that how we are deploying that talent or how we are utilizing it to our benefit is what we need to see. Now this JD got a lot of beating in both the talk and the panel discussion, but I'm still bringing it up. There are a lot of things around it. We inflate the JD, like he cited a brilliant example. 2% ही रोल में यूज होने वाला है, but उसकी वजह से हम रिजेक्शन पे रिजेक्शन किए जा रहे हैं. And all of us have those situations, right? The second one is experience band. 2 साल से ऊपर नीचे मत करना ज़्यादा. We have to have. I know a manager in my career, I have worked with him, who will say 30 साल से कम है तो लाओ ही मत. So there are so many constraints that we put on JD. We say we are a diverse organization, and then we say इसी college से चाहिए, यही batch का चाहिए, right? So a lot of diversity there and lot of play with JD. We say 8 years experience for something which is in market only from 5 years or 4 years. ये देखा है अपने example, इस पे काफ़ी memes भी बने हुए हैं, right? So that's how we are doing for JD, and that's where the intent starts. When the intent is incorrect, the results are also not very matching. So what are we doing? Instead of capability, we are just making a proxy of it with lot of things. The first one being experience है तो skill तो होगी ही, right? ट्रेड फाइनेंस, आई कम फ्रॉम बैंकिंग, ट्रेड फाइनेंस में काम किया है, 6 साल काम किया है, ये आता होगा. देयर कैन बी समबडी बेटर हु इज कमिंग फ्रॉम रिटेल फाइनेंस. They would not have done that, but they have that agility to learn, but we will not pick that up because we want to proxy experience for skills. Brand name, if the person is coming from a large organization, always a winner. That's why many people, now the thought is changing, but that's why many people want to go for large organizations, because that comes with a brand name where people think, yes, everyone is going to be very, very highly productive, which is not the case. And that's why even brand names will have their attrition cycles. They will have the cycles of performance evaluation where they will fire people because they are not performing up to the mark. Likewise, institutions also, even if you go for IIMs, I have seen people who are not able to complete their probation after 6 months because they were not good performer, even from good IIMs also. So brand name is not competence, and communication is not intelligence. This one is the biggest myth that we follow, that if somebody is very polished, can speak well, would be excellent for the role, no matter what role it is. अगर बोलने की ज़रूरत भी नहीं हो उस role में, तो भी we will think that this is the best person who would be the polished one. So polish is not potential is the summary. Now why do we eliminate candidates? We have discussed this in summary, and in the interest of time I would be quickly closing it. So we have a funnel, we have lot of candidates wherein we are filtering them out. Too cheap is one thing that I would like to talk about. You have seen job descriptions or managers telling you, इसके नीचे salary है तो लाओ ही मत, right? too expensive हम बात करते हैं, but too cheap also is not acceptable, and that's where we are not willing to take a risk. Too cheap can be because of multiple reasons. Somebody took a hit on salary because the company closed down, or they had to take a career break, or there can be n number of reasons because of which this happened. But there is a barrier. No, we cannot accept a candidate जिसकी salary 15 साल में इतनी है, कुछ नहीं आता होगा उसको. So we are so quick in judging, and we even make this as a constraint. Tier 2 colleges, that is also a big problem that we see. People do not want to hire because everybody wants somebody to hit the road running. आज आयो, कल से productive हो जाओ. And it is not that it is giving us 100% success in hiring. We do have even with these constraints, you are getting best candidate from the best institute, best competitor, still you have hiring failures. Everybody has it, right? So it's not actually working, but it is actually narrowing down the overall results that we can get. And that's where we say scarcity hai, talent hai hi nahi, but we are not looking at the filters that we are putting in. Then we have the behavioral and decision pattern and business impact. Now, as long as manager is okay, nahi hai banda, kaam chal raha hai, no problem. But otherwise, if there is a business impact directly, we have to do a few things. We have to set timeline for hiring. We have to empower a few decision makers. We have to look at the pattern. Are they reopening the roles? Are they just looking for replica, like someone said in the panel? We have to look at these things, and we need to bring up data that can counter these things. We have psychometric data, we have data of past performers, we have data from LinkedIn. Now there are tools available that can tell us, itne paise mein ye nahi milega. So if we put in all this data into perspective and we bring it to fore, we would be able to adjust few things here and get a good talent for ourselves. So looking at these, the behavioral pattern, the decision pattern, and finally the business outcome, manager may not listen to it, may not be cognizant of the fact kitna loss ho raha hai in the productivity. But if you go to seniors, you will definitely get a hearing there because you can quantify that. The only thing is data and quantification would be critical here. Now tools are same for everybody. We have LinkedIn, we have AI screening, we have portals, we have hiring partners and referrals. But some organizations are finding it not so difficult and some are finding it extremely difficult. Reasons we discussed. Now we will discuss that it is judgment quality that drives the result, not just tools. Because tools to ab sabke paas hai. So different strategy, two strategies, you all have spoken about it in detail. And yes, the borrow piece works very well, but it's not applicable for everyone, so I had not considered it here. But in my organization, it is working very, very well. Within the FimBank group, we have people in marketing, data security, and analytics who are being borrowed from one place to another. India is very good at certain things. Europeans are good at certain other things. So we borrow talent. We have some KRA percentage for that when you support the group company, and even the borrow piece is being very well done. Build talent is definitely we discussed, and buy also, both have its value. But yes, I am a firm believer in build talent because I have seen excellent results by building the talent in-house. Now, what will separate one organization from other when it comes to high performance organization? The first one is redefine roles. We discussed about it. If you are having a 60-70% match in what can come from market or what can be built within, go for it. Do not rely for only the 100% match that we have to have. Agency is also similar thing that you don't have to hire for 100% match. Nobody is perfect, and I'll tell you a live example. I was once talking to a head of HR of a large NBFC, and she was going through the competency assessment. She was doing it for existing employees, and she shared that when she evaluated her C-suite, especially two positions, CRO and CFO, from a scale of 1 to 8, CRO was at 5 and CFO was at 4. So even they are not perfect. hiring or trying to hire a perfect candidate is not possible. If we evaluate ourselves in current situation, we also not going to get 100% result in terms of the competencies that we set. All of us will have some flaws, some areas of improvement. That's life. If we know everything, then there is nothing to look forward to. So go for adjacency. And like I said before, speed should be the strategy. We have to have a time-bound thing that within these many weeks or these many candidates, we should close it. And I have an example from past, over a decade ago, once I started hiring for banking practices. I had a case wherein a manager rejected 86 profiles. 86 profiles, and the banking world is very, very small. So I was surprised to see, rather shocked to see that this has happened. But then one of my mentors gave me this idea that you put up this number to your CEO when you are told why the hiring has not happened. And that was a game changer for me, because they realized that it is about picking the superhuman which cannot exist. And the position got closed immediately. Another example, we had a hiring manager who would never hire for before 5, 6, 7 months. So in beginning we tried a lot. Then we realized if there is an instance, he does it very quickly. So it so happened that 2 people from his team resigned back in 15 days time. And believe me, within 10 days, both the positions got closed. So when there is a pressure in whatever format, they will hire, otherwise they think it is not required. Build pipelines, we discussed about it, and upgrade hiring managers. I think you spoke about it very well, so that is it. Now, how can we do this? We cannot do this by doing whatever we have been doing so far. And adaptability and agility, we have shown, we have started taking care of these things. But the most important thing is audacity. We have to have capability to say no. And why will it happen and when will it happen? First, we need to have complete business understanding. We should be able to talk their language. And then we should be backed by data. We should be backed by past performance, feedback, complete analysis. If we do not have complete understanding of the role, we would not be able to be audacious. So that's why I've highlighted it in the different color, because agility and adaptability we are doing. What HR needs to learn is saying no. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gauri Das. That truly gives us lens into the future of talent. May I request Ms. Harjit Khanduja to kindly join us for the felicitation of Ms. Gauri Das.